100 podcast nightcap. I'm Tarail McBee, the host for tonight. As you guys can see, we officially got our merchandise in, so I will be wearing that for tonight. We have special guest, Nomad underscore music. I see him in the comment section. I feel like he's one of my friends already. I don't even know him, just off of the great things that I heard about him from BZ. What up? Just Be Show. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So I'll see him in the comment section. Let me add him in so we can get to know more about him actually versus me just talking. So let's get it. So while we wait. What's good, bro? How you doing?
I was doing good, man. Trying to stay corona free.
For sure. Appreciate you for coming on though.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
Nice. I heard great things from BZ RMG. Hopefully I didn't get him in trouble for playing that song when we did that kind of
Nah,
podcast.
I'm good. It's all love. I appreciate it.
All right, we good. All right. Usually what we do when we have guests come on, we have them introduce themselves and speak a little bit about what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Nomad, man. I just, as far as rap and music, you name it, man, I'm into it. I love writing. I'm a poet. I'm an activist as well. I stay very close to grassroots organizations. Right now I'm, feeding the hungry. Um, so yeah, man, that's me in a nutshell, man. I just trying to put out real positive music. Um, something that's gonna get you through the day. So if you into that, man, definitely check out, check me out.
For sure. And if someone wants to find you or your music, like where could they find that information at?
So I actually have a link tree. You just go to Nomad, type in Nomad, it's all caps. KNOMADD.
Uh-huh.
So, and type that in, and you'll see my link tree, and you can see my Spotify titles, um, Apple. I mean, I'm on all platforms.
For sure. Thank you for that information. I'll make a post about that after our podcast. But first question I have for you. Where were you like born and raised? Where'd you grow up at?
So I grew up everywhere, man, but mainly between Georgia and Texas. Um, my home, I like to say, is kind of with my grandparents, which they lived in Texas, so I go there. I'd be there in the summertime. Mainly I was in Georgia throughout the year, but during the summertime, definitely. I spent a lot of time in Texas. That's my heart is in Texas. So. But yeah, man, that's basically how I grew up. Um, from like junior high on, I was with BZ and Mel in Lubbock, Texas. So, they became my friend, that became my group, man, and we've just been rocking out ever since.
For sure. Shout out to the whole camp over there, for sure. Um, Next question I have. Did you start music with them too? Or when did that start?
So, man, I've always been a writer, so never wanted to be in front of the scenes. I always try to stay behind the scenes. I don't like the attention. But Melvin heard me, rapping one day. It was our history from there, man. So, I still like to write music. I go back to Georgia and I write for a lot of people back there. Write for people all over. But I've been doing it actually like putting myself out there for like the last 3-4 years. Putting my music on platforms and sharing it with people.
For sure. And far as like when you first started music, like was that like at a young age?
Yeah, I've always been musically inclined, especially like growing up in the church. Um, you just you do all types of music, gospel. We went to country, bluegrass, folk music, rock music. So I started with just writing music, any genre, when I was maybe about 9 years old, and um, it just continued on from then. But I have to say, yeah, since nine, man, really taking it serious though. Maybe the last, well, 10 years. 10 years.
Okay, for sure. And is that the number of years that you have been doing music, like 10 years plus?
Yeah, so about 10 years, man. I never, like I said, took it seriously. I thought it was just gonna be something that was like, um, like a hobby.
Hmm.
And I know people started to really listen and like what I was doing. So, um, I got with Mel and I got with BG and we started just kind of rocking out, you know, for real, for real.
For sure. For sure. Sounds good. Will you be on BZ's upcoming album?
I hope so. I hope so, man. I'm trying to get down there next week, man, and see him, and hopefully I can sneak in a feature, going there while he sleeps or something and record in his little secret hideout studio.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm hoping he'll put me on the project.
for sure. Yeah, I told him I was like, he needs to have you on the album, or I'm gonna complain. So, yeah, he needs to. Yeah, he needs to do that, and I look forward to the album. And also, I believe you said you're a songwriter too, right?
I'm like, yeah, that's like my heart, man. If I'm not even pressed if rapping doesn't work out for me, man. I'm always gonna write music. It's not about money to me. It's really more so about putting art out there, man. I'm a big artist, by nature. I just want to write something that you've never heard before or invoke a feeling that, through my writing that you've never felt before. So yeah, writing is my passion.
For sure. And when did you start actually writing? Because I get it confused. Like, do writers actually learn how to write, or is that something that they're just like talented at?
So there's actually, I mean, there's levels to it, man. You have, of course, you have to have like a passion for it. You want to write. You want to, for me, it started, like I said, at about 9 years old
Hmm.
with just writing, off of nursery rhymes. So I'd hear like stuff that caught my ear, like, whether it be cold or whether it be hot, or whether the weather, whatever the weather, whether I like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like
Right.
that. And it will make me think, like, what else, how can I add to this? So you'll start out, if you got a passion for it, you start out writing on your own. But then there are classes, there's people who, if you stay around the studio like I do, I'm a studio, rat, and I'll be in the studio, man, and I'll just get with other people just to write. And they kind of hone your skills. I challenge myself to write, like I say, rock music, some, alternative music. So I just challenge myself, man.
For sure. Sounds good. And what is it like, far as like when you put out a song, or like say if you write a song, is there some type of approval process where you send it to someone and they let you know the negatives and the positives of it?
So, so yeah, that's a big thing for me is, but um, there's this criticism thing amongst artists.
Hmm.
And I try to pick artists that I'll send my music to that I know will give me an honest critique. Because what will happen a lot of times is you'll send it to someone and they'll just say, "Oh man, that's fire, man," and you pour your heart into it, and then it may be something that you like, but you listen back to it 2 years, you're like, man, that just wasn't cinematic, that wasn't sonically what was going on at the time, or it doesn't even make sense. Um, so I would say, honestly, man, my process is just I'll send it to like Mel because I know Mel is gonna be honest with me. Um, I'm very particular about what I send because the songs are like my babies, man. I don't want to just let anything go out. Um, but when I do, man, I'm very particular about the people I send it to, because I want that honest feedback. And there's like songs that I'll probably never even release that I love that I just know don't make sense, you know?
Okay, for sure. Thank you for that great insight. Um, do you have an album out, or do you have one coming? I've heard some songs, but I didn't know if you like had an album out or anything.
Nah, so I have one coming. Just to give you like the real deal, man. I've dealt with a lot of like self-doubt, for years. And I'm glad that people are starting to talk about, um, mental, health and stuff like that. Because for me, since a young age, man, I was always told what I couldn't do. And I took a lot of that stuff and internalized it. So I've always, I just held my music close to my chest because that was like the last thing that if I let people hear and they rejected it, I felt like I couldn't take it. So I have tons of music. The really great thing is now I've dealt with those type of mental roadblocks, and I'm ready to just present myself to the world. Take it or leave it. So this will be the first album. It's going to be out June 7th, and it'll be out on all platforms.
Wait, did you say June 7th?
June 7th. I mean, I'm sorry, July 7th. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, don't play like that. I gotta miss the drop already.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I did the same thing this morning. Yeah, I'm just excited for it to finally come out and for me to, be able to share myself with the world, man. So July 7th, definitely you'll get a Nomad album.
For sure. Sounds good on that. I'm excited. Like that song that BZ played for me.
Yeah.
That honestly, that's one of the dopest songs I ever heard. That's the one with the I think that has the Tupac intro.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm not sure if
appreciate
that was the full version or not, but I went back and listened to it again. I was like, did BZ play me the full version? I need to know.
it. Yeah, man, that's gonna be the full version. We trying to get a few things like we have to get some stuff sorted out legally
Uh-huh.
to be able to use the samples, but I have no doubt that that'll be done before the album is ready to release. But um, I appreciate that, man, because I've been holding on to that song for maybe 5 years,
Uh-huh.
and I condensed it. I made it 12-bar verses just so it would be easier for people to digest. And I'm glad to hear that you like it, man.
For sure, I rocks with it. Um, what was the inspiration behind that song? Was that I kind of feel like that song was it having to do with everything that's going on now, like part of it.
Yeah, so what's crazy about it is I wrote it, like I say, 5 years ago. This was when we were dealing with Eric Garner,
Yeah,
Tamir Rice. We've been dealing with this, and it's just, everything is being filmed now. So it's just crazy that it happened to be at the right time. I hate the fact that George Floyd had to die, and definitely condolences to his family and everyone involved. That was a tragedy, man. I hate that, that took place, but it's a constant struggle that we've been dealing with. So I feel like if I dropped it 10 years ago or 20 years ago, man, we'd still be going through the same thing. Um, so yeah, man, I mean, the influence is just the culture, man, just what we've been dealing with over the last, uh, you know, I want to say 400 years, but definitely since, 1865, since we were emancipated. So, it's just ongoing struggle that we're having to deal with, and hopefully we can overcome it.
for sure. Yeah. honestly, like I feel like a change is coming. That's just the energy I get. But I'm not sure if you like feel like the same way on that topic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. I do. I see globally. I
Global.
just feel like, once you can get the global community on your side, the rest is downhill because we've been fighting this fight by ourselves, man. We didn't even, going to Africa, they don't really even see our struggle the way that we see our struggle. And it's just a different environment. They deal with different things over there, and they dealt with apartheid and everything like that. But our struggle, man, is something that now people are, being able to see full scale, and I think that is going to impact changes to our system, changes to our laws, and I hope they don't placate us, man. I hope it's not just some band-aid and
Yeah.
hey, we'll just say Black Lives Matter, and we'll just say whatever phrase makes you guys comfortable right now until you can stop rioting or stop protesting. I hope it's actually some laws that are passed that are able to create some fundamental change, systemically.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like it's not gonna be like a band-aid over it, just because of all the people and all the races that are involved in like the marching
Mm.
and everything. Like, cause every time I turn it on, it's like tons and tons and tons of people, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
that's dope, bro. That's dope for sure.
it's super dope. What gives you the and I'm sorry to turn this around on you. What um what gives you the inclination? I mean, well, what's the time frame? Do you think it'll change immediately, or do you think it'll be something that we won't see until maybe this generation is kind of, you know,
I'm
entered in?
saying, me honestly, just me speaking. I'm saying maybe like 6 months or so, because there's so many people like doing that. Like, there's no way around it. There's no way to
Yeah,
ignore it anymore.
yeah. It's like it's in your face now. I definitely agree with that, man. Shout out to the homie Joshua Stephon, man. That's another dope artist, man.
Shout
Be
out
on the
to him
lookout for him. Yeah,
for sure. Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, like I was saying, like I've seen I've seen like other marching. Well, I've never been a part of it, but I've seen it. And
yeah,
this is the first one that I've seen that looks like, wow, like it's gonna change.
yeah, yeah. And you're in California, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, and Cali does it, man, like nobody else. I remember the Florence and Normandy and stuff like that, man. I remember that whole thing. Was it the Rodney King?
Yep.
Rodney King rides, and so they've always kind of, it quells the anger kind of quells up there, and hopefully we can, like you say, man. I've seen even Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney. He
Yeah.
would have been out there, and in 2020, protesting with us and saying Black Lives Matter. That's a win in itself. So
Yeah, for sure. Like I feel like it's going in the right direction, to be honest with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
for sure.
far as you say you're an activist too, right?
I'm an activist, man. I've always been an activist, man. My grandfather, my grandmother, they were real active. My grandfather was active in marches, and um, yeah, so yeah, man, it's just in me.
For sure. Because I was about to ask you, I was like where did that come from? But you said it came from your family, of course. When did
Yeah, for
you?
sure.
Oh, go ahead. Did I cut you
No, I was gonna say yeah, for sure, man. I remember, just going to like Ebenezer, and I actually worked at the Martin Luther King exhibit for like, a whole summer. So, it's just that's where it comes from. Sorry for cutting you off. I'm
No
sorry.
worries. We good. For sure. I just want to make sure you got out everything you need to get out before I went. So we
Right.
yeah, we good. What age did you get into or get into like being an activist? Is that a young age?
Uh, so no, actually, man, it was after my first year of college, and I remember being kind of posed with some questions, man, that that kind of made me really sit back and take stock of my own self and, take inventory and be like, man, it's more that I could be doing, as opposed to I was always the type of person who was like, man, y'all not doing enough, or why y'all, it's all this gang violence, man. Why don't y'all? And I started looking at myself and being like, yeah, man, there's things that I can do, even locally, with, local, legislation and voting, and whether it be being part of the Dream Defenders or being part of the NAACP. There's always stuff that I felt like, I should be doing. So I did those things.
For sure. Sounds like you're doing a good job, though. For sure.
I appreciate it, man.
For sure. Um, Let me ask you about your music now, because I asked BZ, everyone over there that I had come on, do you have anyone that inspired you as far as like your music style?
Yes, yes. I have a lot of people who inspired me, man. I would say people always crucify me for this, man, but Lauryn Hill, man, was like,
Sure.
that was like, the Fugees, and she's underrated as a lyricist, man, or as a artist, a rap artist. But I thought that she was like one of the dopest that I had ever, heard, just the way she played with words and played with different things. Slick Rick is his storytelling capabilities is like second to none. Das Effects, the way they play with melodies and words, and the way they that's something that I hope you can hear a little bit of in my new recent my upcoming project. Those are like top three. Andre 3000 is
Yeah,
definitely, that's somebody that I just can't get away from. The way he puts together songs conceptually is, it's just one of those things, man. I love, man. So those are probably the top ones. I used to always, when I was writing, a lot of the stuff that I write now was writing, 10, I would say even maybe like 15 years ago.
hmm
But then I heard, J. Cole and the Kendricks come along. And the thing about that, man, was it made me take a step back and say, you know what, man, I can listen to them all day. I don't even need to make music anymore, man, because they kind of filled that void that I was looking to fill.
for
So I took a step back, man, and I was just able to appreciate them. But now that I'm back making music again, and I'm actually, involved in the process, I kind of turn those guys off, man, and I get back to doing my own thing, because I don't want it to bleed over.
yeah,
But you'll definitely hear. I mean, I appreciate those guys just like I appreciate a Lil Wayne, a JID. I appreciate everybody in the game who's actually, they have substance.
for sure. Sounds good. Um, as you know, I don't know if you saw podcasts, but BZ gave me like a surprise podcast where he was playing your music,
Okay.
and I was like, "Yo, he sounds like Kendrick Lamar, bro." And he's like, "He's like, yeah." I was like, "That's who I thought it was at first," but I was like, "But the name's different, so like,
Yeah.
pretty sure it's not." But that's who he sounded like without me hearing you. I was like, "Yo, like he sounded like Kendrick Lamar. Like that's crazy." Yeah, for sure.
Not a bad guy to be compared to, man. I've gotten that before, and that's one of the things that I've made sure that I've done for this album, man, is just to kind of stay away from any type of influence. So you may hear a melody that may sound like a Kendrick or like a J. Cole from some of my previous work, because those are the guys, and most rappers won't tell you this, man. They'll say, this is all me. I listen to melodies and I say, man, that would be good if I could do it like this right here. So, I've definitely taken some influence from those guys, but the majority of my work, where I found my niche, is to be able to write things of substance, but also take you to another place conceptually where you think, no, I don't hear anybody writing about mental alchemy in a song, or people writing about, on the album I'll go ahead and say it, I have a love story to the Jordan Concord 11s,
Oh yeah,
yeah, so conceptually, I'm trying to take it to somewhere else, man, and hopefully that'll be what separates me from the artists that people think that I, remind them of. So
Yeah, I've never heard a song like that. So you're definitely first of that. So I look forward to July 7th.
July 7th, yeah, July 7th, 7/7.
All right, for sure. I look forward to that as well. Let me ask you another question about like, do you have anyone you want to work with? Future producers, future artists?
Yeah, man. So I want to say, man, there's a lot of artists. One of my dream artists to work with was Bilal.
Yeah, shout out.
And,
Shout out.
as a singer, man, like this guy is so gifted, and that has to be done. Um, as far as rappers, that's a tough one. I want to say that it would have to be somebody who I know would push me.
Mm-hmm.
So man, that's a tough one. Actually, man, I would love to do a song with Q-Tip.
That would be
Um,
dope, bro.
I would love to get on a song with Q-Tip, or um, even somebody like a Common. To go back and forth with him would be super dope. Um, the other people, man, are like they all passed away. I could say like the Tupacs or the Big L's and stuff like that, but they kind of all gone. But yeah, those are the other people I would be like, yeah. Lauryn Hill, I definitely want to do a song with her, but it's just like I feel like that would be so much pressure on me to do, man. It would just be way too much pressure for me.
All right. Let me throw another question for you. You, BZ, his brother, Big Ken, all you guys from that camp, and you guys are in the Texas area, right? Dallas,
I'm
Texas.
I'm actually I'm in another part of Texas. Well, I'm basically New Mexico,
Okay.
El Paso. But yeah, I'm basically still around.
Okay. Um, I am a big fan of someone from Dallas, Texas. DOC.
Yeah,
Um, I've
yeah,
because of all the people I've interviewed, like no one ever says the DOC. I kind of know why, because he had that accident with his throat, of course. But
yeah.
that's, to me, like that's a top five. It's a top five artist,
He's a top five writer too,
like
man.
easily, bro.
His pen is I just blanked out, but DLC is like one of my top artists too, man. And as a writer, um, I used to keep a lot of his quotes around and stuff like that, man. He's definitely somebody that I would love to work with, even if vocally he can't do it. I know he's pushed himself recently, but even just to like get him to help me construct a song would be dope, man. DOC is, yes, definitely, man.
The
Who went for that
unforgotten.
accident?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The unforgotten member of those NWA albums, for sure.
Yep.
He doesn't get
Yeah,
mentioned.
man.
Ice Cube gets mentioned, but that dude right there, legendary for sure.
And I think his pen was better than Ice Cube's, man. I
Yeah,
mean, when Ice got by himself, man, he kind of went to another level. But DOC, man, is man, that man is a beast, man.
yeah.
He is.
That was the first one out of them to have a #1 album while you're still in the group.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, DOC, and the crazy thing is just DOC's. I listen to a lot of his interviews. His lifestyle, man. He just does. He wouldn't have. He doesn't convey that. He doesn't come off as how he lived at that time, man. He was really, just rowdy, and I guess God was trying to slow him down with the accident, man. Far be it from me to say, but it just seemed like, if that didn't happen, man, he would have definitely been like, maybe. I think he would have gave at that time, man. I think who's around, like LL was like at the top of the food chain.
Yeah,
Definitely would have, challenge him for that crown, man.
For sure. Like he was at the same time he was 19 and 20 when he was doing all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
hella young, but shout out to DLC. That's one of my favorites
yeah.
for sure. I had to throw that in there. I was like, no one has mentioned DLC yet, so let me throw that in there real quick. But
Man.
yeah, shout out to him for sure. But
Yeah.
and are you a part of Legacy Pushers or no? Are you a part of someone else? Another label?
So I've been freelancing for a while, but I would love to be part of the movement over there. Me and Beezy are gonna have a sit down pretty soon to kind of talk about everything, and hopefully, man, because that machine, man, I think is actually, you know, it's gonna work to perfection, man. It's they got a lot of knowledge, years of knowledge, man. That just talking to them about strategy, it would be a no-brainer for me to join that group. So hopefully, man, I'm like I say, I'm freelancing right now, man. I've gotten one call just off of the strength, man, from Def Jam, and that seemed to be promising, but we'll see how it goes. So.
Sure. I hope you go with Legacy Pushers, bro. They already have
Yeah.
like an all-star team over there. That's what I call it. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but because I literally interviewed literally everyone from over there. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, shout out to
No,
them though for sure. But
man,
yeah, so I hope that works out because that would be amazing actually.
look forward to it, man. I look forward to it. I hope so too, man. I'll say that even with everything else, that may come and may be on the table, that's just, that's that's the group, man. That's the hometown crew.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the guys who've been with me when I didn't have anything. So I'm hoping that it works out that way.
For sure. Sounds good. Thank you for your insight so far. So hop back into the podcast. Let me ask you a question about your career. Like where are you trying to go ultimately with your career if you were to like pick something out?
So when it comes to rap, man, I just want to reach as many people as I can. I don't really care about the money, financially. I have other ventures that I'll be able to exploit and make money. But when it comes to music, man, I just want to reach as many ears as I can and at least push the culture forward.
Uh-huh.
So if I can do that, man, if someone can, pick up a new way of thinking about things, about making music, about the process, and I can get hip hop back to where it was, and not saying that it's in a bad place, because they would have said that. I think people said that since its inception.
Yep.
But if I can get it back to where we actually focusing on telling new stories and reaching another audience, then I'll be fine with that, man. Success and fame, I don't prefer fame. Success, of course, everybody wants to have some money and a little nest egg, but I don't want much. I just want to be respected in the industry. That's it.
For sure. Okay, sounds good. Fair enough. Next next question down the list I have. What kind of legacy you trying to leave behind? Think we broke.
That's a good one, man. Really, of just being an artist who told the truth, man. Who just kept it real and wasn't trying to be something he wasn't. Wasn't concerned about how he looked, the chain he had on or the car he was driving. Um, I don't want to be a hermit. I just want to set positive examples. And I'm hoping that through songs like the one you heard, Afraid of the Dark, that the people who have, taken on our culture, whether it be Asians or young white kids in the suburbs can listen and they can learn something and they can be able to take it away and say, you know what, um, I can understand or I can empathize with the plot of, these, the people who are in the African American community. So I want to push the culture. I want to push definitely our brothers and sisters to be more, to not be caught up in, the glitz and the glamour of things, to just, to want a better life, man. But, honestly, ultimately, my legacy is going to be something that I have not too much, control over. It's going to be up to the audience and the fans, you know, to do that for me. So.
For sure. Sounds good. And what about your activist? I'm not sure if that's a career, but I'm not sure if that's the correct way to put it. But what about the type of legacy you want to leave behind as far as you being a activist for the Black community?
It's kind of married to music, so they'll both go hand in hand. I really just, like I say, the music will feed the activism, and the activism will feed the music. It'll all be kind of conjoined, and if you listen to my music, hopefully it'll, present you with a challenge to want a higher calling for yourself and the people around you. Or, if you see me out there and I'm protesting or, being an activist or just feeding the hungry or something, and you probably won't see much of that because I don't broadcast it. I don't put it on my Instagram. But if you know that I'm out there doing it, man, maybe it'll motivate people to get up and do it themselves, man. And, we can make a better generation for the generations to come.
For sure. Sounds good. Um, far as if someone came up to you and was like, I'm an aspiring rapper, but I'm looking for advice on how to get into the industry, like, is there something you would tell them?
I would say you tell me, because I'm still in the same boat. We all trying to make it. I would be willing to tell them to just stay honest and humble. Humble is like a really big thing, because there's some people who gain local fame
Yeah.
and they kind of lose themselves in it. So I would say stay humble, surround yourself with honest people.
Yep.
I would also say to make what makes you happy, because that's the lesson that took me the longest to learn, was to make stuff that actually I could play in the car and it would put a smile on my face, so I would evoke that feeling I made when I recorded it. So, make something that makes you happy, because a lot of times people can't even recite the lyrics to their songs because it's so fake, or so, it's something that they haven't lived, or
Yeah.
so you got to make something that makes you happy. And if people will come to you, you make it, and if they like it, they'll gravitate towards you. If they don't, then they won't. But you can be happy with the fact that you did something that was, true to you. So.
For sure. Sounds good. Do you have a favorite project that you've done, upcoming or past?
And I would say my favorite, the most fun I've ever had was, me and Mel did a mixtape called Executive Decisions, and I was going by a different name. I won't say it, but we made a mixtape, and it was a fun. We did it in 2 days,
Uh-huh.
and it was the most fun I ever had because he challenged me to step outside of myself and just do, without a lot of writing, just do what I felt. And that was like, hopefully you guys will get to hear that. Hopefully he'll upload that to some site, or but that was my favorite, man. And especially with everything going on with Mel. Shout out to Mel. That's
Shout out
like,
to him.
That's my guy, man. That's him going through all the health problems he's going through. Man, I love that dude like a brother. And Beezy too, man. They keep me encouraged. Um, they've always encouraged me and supported me through everything, man. And I have family, even like in Georgia, who don't even do that, man. So that's my favorite project is the one with me and Mel.
When did that project come out?
That came out, I want to say we were young, man. It was like 2012, maybe.
Oh, all right.
2012.
I'm gonna need to get my hands on that mixtape. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to find
Then
it out.
you'll see, man, I've always had like my delivery has always been kind of it's been the same, So, a lot of artists come and go, and I've always been compared to, Wayne and Kendrick Lamar, but it's my flow has always, pretty much been the same, man. The stuff I talk about has always been the same. So hopefully you can hear that so you can see, man, I was innovative, man. I was ahead of my time.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to hit up the people in the group to get my hand on that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you two did a mixtape together. Yeah, I need that in my possession or on my computer or something. So
I'm proud of that one, man. I'm proud of that one.
yeah, for sure. Do you and Beezy have songs together?
Me and BZ, actually, if you listen to Mel's last album, we have one together. But like I say, Mel will never address me as Nomad. I'll always be the previous artist, man, because that's what he knows me as. So if you look on Melvin's last project, there's one called Generational Wealth,
Hmm.
and there's one called Switching Sides, and that's me on Switching Sides.
For sure. I'm gonna go search that after we're done here, so I can get so I can hear that song. Has an interesting title to it, so I will rock with
Yeah.
that. Um, do you have any personal hobbies outside of being an activist, being an artist, musician? Like, what do you like to do? Like, I guess in your downtime, if you have that.
I do architecture, man. So
Oh,
I mean, like not I just like to design and like to sketch architecture. Um, so I draw buildings. I like famous buildings like the Barcelona Pavilion.
uh,
The French. I can't think of the name of it now, but just famous buildings, and I sketch those, man. That's like my passion. I love to draw. I'm an artist. So I draw, I paint, I do it all.
is that what that is behind you?
Yeah, but it's not something that I did. I can't take credit for it, man. It's a painting, but it's a fabric. So yeah, but it's not mine. It's not mine. I wish I could take credit for it, man. I draw more stuff like MC Escher.
Uh-huh.
I'm very influenced by those type of artists that are innovative and think outside the box.
For sure. That's a different dimension for sure. Wasn't expecting you to say that. Learn something new every podcast episode. So shout out to you for that, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Um, will you be having a listening party for your album? So I've heard everyone rap live but you. So I want to know if you're gonna have like a listening party.
I want to. I want to. I definitely need to. I think the problem that we're finding now is that location. Because I have a big group of people who want to see me want me to perform live for them back in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
I have a big group of people that are down by the Houston area and here in El Paso and definitely love it. So it's just like where would I have the most participation from people around there? And it may just be something close to like DJs and podcasters and stuff like that, man. So I think that the second one may be better for me because I can kind of throw it on a live and then invite everybody else who can't make it. So I don't know, but I want to.
All right. Um, I was. Should I say this on live? I am. Whatever. um, Someone that you're cool with will be releasing their album on our live. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna say the name, but anyways, um, like I said, he's gonna be releasing his album on live with us, and maybe you guys can link up because we're coming out with a platform which allows us to have 6 screens with 6 different individuals at once. So
Okay.
maybe we could set something up like that.
I'm down, man.
Yeah,
I'm down. I'm game, man. I can't turn nothing down at this point, anyways, man.
for
I'm turning nothing down but my collar, man. That's it.
yeah,
But yeah, man, I'm trying to get my name out there, and especially a platform like y'all's, man, who's, I've been watching. I went back and liked a bunch of videos, but I had already watched them previously.
yeah,
But yeah, man, very entertaining, and the scope, the range that you guys have, definitely that's a no-brainer.
yeah, for sure. Appreciate that. We're still new, but surprisingly, we're growing this quick. I didn't see that coming, but yeah. So definitely we gotta do that. Um, I guess I should let you know this about Instagram Live. I'm not sure how much you used it, but
Okay.
I guess after an hour they give you like a 2-minute countdown. And
Okay.
you can't see it, but I can see it. So once it happens, I will let you know the minute it happens.
Okay.
However, earlier it let something go for 90 minutes, so I don't know what's going on with Instagram today. I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
It's a,
Yeah,
it's that corona response, man. It's a little late.
yeah, for sure. But all right. Let me ask you this: like, do you consider yourself a freestyle artist, or you just say you're an artist and you just do all kinds of music?
Honestly, man, I don't freestyle. I think it'd be kind of disrespectful to the artists who really do freestyle, man. I always keep verses in the chamber, though, man. I'm always ready. So, but I don't want to say I'm freestyling.
For sure, sounds good. I heard a little something from BZ on this first podcast with us, and, and he was like, "I knew you were gonna request that." I was like, "Well, how'd you know that? Like, that's interesting." But yeah, he gave us a little. I didn't know he freestyled. I thought he would. I don't consider him a freestyler, but he said he used to do it like back in the day or whatever. But I also didn't know he was a singer. That's what really threw me off. I was like, what? It's like you sing songs, like that's crazy.
That man is so talented, man. The first time I remember meeting him, he was beating. He was a guy keeping the beat for everybody else to freestyle. So man, he's so musically inclined. It's crazy. Him and his brother. His brother is a dope artist as well, but
Mr.
great
Go Get It,
voices.
Mr. Go Get It.
Say it again.
Which brother, the youngest one or the other one? I heard both
The
of them.
the younger one. Yeah, Ken. They call him Big Ken. Yeah, but yeah, super talented.
For sure. Had him on too. He dropped some heat for me, so shout out to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
that man is dope.
yeah, for sure. They're all dope over there. Like the first time I've heard any of them, I was just like, yo, like I rock with all of them. Like Kales, uh,
Oh yeah. Oh
Quasi,
yeah.
yeah, Quasi, you, BZ, Melv. I'm pretty sure I'm missing some other people, but they're all dope. Shout out to like all of them over there. Gina J, Gina J. I think I'm saying her name right.
Yeah. Yeah. She's on Beezy's. Yeah, she's dope too.
Yeah, I had
She's
her on.
dope too.
and she'll be on this weekend actually. So
Now you see why I just wanted to be a writer, man. I just wanted to play the back for a long time, man. Too much talent. You know, trying to get in where I fit in, man. Those boys are talented, man. So I had to kind of figure something out.
yeah, so shout out to like all of them. Just shout out to whole like Texas, bro. Like y'all talented out there.
Yeah, they are, man. I can't say it for myself. I try to keep up, but yeah, they nice, man.
For sure. You guys should do like a group album. Like like back in the day when the Rough Riders did album, you guys should do
Yeah, yeah.
that. that
Like I don't know if you ever heard of this time period where Erica Badu and D'Angelo and Common, they all were in these they was in the same studio.
yeah.
And so in Bilal, and you got that eclectic style, man. That was when all of them were popular and they worked together. So, I think that's something what J. Cole may have been trying to recreate on his last Dreamville
Yeah.
joint. But yeah, man, I would love to do that with Melvin Beasley and the talent they have over there.
Yeah, they talented for sure. Like I told BZ, I was like, yo, when you get hats at church, you need to send me one because I'm gonna send you one of these that I have, which we just got today, by the way. But
Right?
I'm like, yeah, like I rock with that label all the way. That group over there, like they're dope. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
shout out to them over there. All right, let me jump into another question because I haven't got a 2-minute warning yet, so I'm gonna roll with it. What is something that someone doesn't know about you, if you can share that?
I'm pretty much an open book, and I can't say that there isn't much that people don't know about me. I don't, interact with a lot of people. I think through my music, I share a lot, but I used to say all the time when someone asked me this question, I used to be like, "Ah, man, I don't eat meat. I'm a vegan." But that's so played out now, man, because everybody you run into is,
Yeah, for sure.
So that's I can't say that. I would say, for me, something that I take pride in and that most people wouldn't know about me. Man, well, no, I can't share that. Yeah, man. So I'm getting I'm getting a degree in creative media,
Nice.
and hopefully, this is one of my dreams. I'll just tell you, this is something that most people probably won't know about me. I want to do set design. So I want to do 3D set design. I want to do set design, but I want to do it specifically for Tyler Perry Studios. So
Wow.
that's something that I haven't really shared with people. I just don't. I don't want to get rejected. So hopefully, maybe you'll hear this or something. But I would love to do that as well, man. I love doing set design, architecture, whether it be ancient Rome or something that's a dystopian future, like Blade Runner or something. That's something I would love to do.
For sure. Well, after this podcast, you may be getting hit up by someone because we like belong to like a lot of groups and stuff. So
Right on, man.
yeah, 'cause everyone I talk to, well, everyone that we podcasted with, like they've had some type of new following or someone hit them up about collaborations and stuff like that. So hopefully that works for you because this has been like a dope interview so far.
Yeah.
So,
Hit me up.
yeah, for sure.
Hit me up.
I always ask this close to final question. Did you get to share everything you wanted to share or everything you needed to share?
I feel like I did, man. I just want to tell everybody, when you see artists on Instagram, at least give them a chance, or you see them on Facebook, or these people are just trying to make. I know it's kind of the market is kind of oversaturated right now, and there's a lot of people who are trying to be artists, but there are actually some really unique sounds. I love to hear new artists. You just got to give these guys a chance, man, and if you can follow them, if you can follow me, I'd appreciate it just to stay up on the content because I'm always sharing, and I'm doing a lot better with posting. But yeah, man, just and be honest with the artists. If you don't like something, tell them. It gives them an opportunity to go back to the drawing board and say, let me try this. Let's try this. And if it's constructive, definitely give you constructive criticism. Don't just be on there like, oh man, that's ass, and something like that. Definitely give constructive criticism where it's needed. Give honest feedback, and that's mainly something that's one of the main points I want to convey, because artists will be out here doing something completely wrong or completely, something that's contrary or might not be good sonically, and it just doesn't work. And you guys haven't, given them honest feedback, so they never get an opportunity to correct it. So that's all, man. That's
For sure. And I'm going to add to that statement he just made. If anyone wants to be interviewed by Keep It 100 podcast, we're willing to interview everyone that sees our page. So there is the invitation. Send us a DM, like we're always here. So that's what I have to add to that, because we're all about uplifting and opportunity on this podcast show. Me and the other host, JR, which is my uncle, by the way. So we're all about uplifting over here. So that's what I got to add to that. Yeah, that's what I got, and hopefully me and you can do a part 2, because I want a part 2. So for sure.
yeah, man. I'm down. I'm down, man.
For sure. I will add one more. I don't want to say thing, but one more suggestion, I guess. This video, if you want a copy of it, shoot me a DM. I'll email you the video so you can use it for like marketing purposes, whatever you're going to use it for. That's fine with us. And after we're done, I'll be streaming to YouTube and all our other social medias just to get the video out there. So I thought I'd share that.
No, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you interviewing me, man. For real, it's a pleasure, man, to kind of, feel heard and feel seen. That's a big thing for people who create. So
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
for sure. I don't know if you heard me. My phone kind of paused for a second. But yeah, I'd like to thank you for coming on Keep It 100 podcast. And I will be making a post about your music, of course, because you got a favorite song I like. So I'll be posting this video right after we're done. And yeah, I'll tag you and everything for sure. Let's do a part 2 though, for sure. I'm down.
Let's do it. July 7th, Nomad self-titled album will be out. So be on the lookout for that. I do have merch coming as well. Just got some hats done. So be on the lookout for that, man. And I appreciate it.
For sure. Sounds good. Yeah. And let me know what your merch is and I'll share it on our page. Yeah, I'm down to promote for you guys as well. Yeah. Sure. Thank you for coming on. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, because you're like 2 hours ahead, right?
I'm Mountain Time, so I'm 1 hour ahead of you.
Okay, for sure. All right. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and I look forward to that album coming.
You as well, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one. All right.
You as well, man.
All right.